Oh, your boy, get your phone chairs ready. There we go. All right, ready? City and
Diablo 4. Everybody's been playing it. Everybody's been talking about it. Today, I'm going to talk about it. I've played the beta now for a few days. I've looked into the game. I've gotten 2 characters to the max level, and I've no-lifed at least one of them to where they have pretty much full legendary gear that's almost completely upgraded too. So I wanted to give my thoughts on, in general, the first impressions of the game and just talk about Diablo 4. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, I used to be a huge fan of Diablo 3. I was like the guy, I bought the game by, actually that's not true, I signed my dad up for the WoW annual pass that actually caused a problem with him changing his credit card that he got really mad at me for, and the annual pass included Diablo 3. So that's how I actually got Diablo 3.
Fivehead.
But anyway, so I got Diablo 3, I played it all night long, and I got to 60, I killed Inferno Diablo, I even killed Hardcore Inferno Diablo, way after Creparium, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not as impressive as you'd think. But anyway, I did all that stuff, I got the Paragon 100, I absolutely loved Diablo 3. I had so much fun playing the game. And then Reaper of Souls came out, and I actually had a lot less fun. And so I moved away. I stopped playing Diablo 3 for a very long period of time. Played a lot of Path of Exile. Did a couple of other ARPGs. Learned the error of my ways. Went back to Path of Exile. And now I'm playing Diablo 4. So where does the game rank compared to other ARPGs? Is it as complex as Path of Exile? I think the answer to that is no, and I think that is an intentional no. I don't think that it should be as complex as as Path of Exile. Diablo 4 is in general a much more simplified version of PoE. Like, for example, whenever you were playing a Necromancer in PoE, if you want to change from carrion golems to skeletons, you've got to completely, reorient 17 different skill gems, 3 different talent choices, your ascendancy, and then also your enchants on your gear, and then, your corruptions, and, all kinds of other stuff, right? But with Diablo, there's a button that says, I thought that was a wasp, it was just one of those stupid things, and, there's a button that says, zombies or skeletons, and you just go click, and it's done. So, how much longevity is that going to have?
I'm experimenting with builds, boys. Oh man, I've been theory crafting with builds. I went from the skeleton to the golem. Hell yeah, brother. I'm being real theory crafting here.
I don't know. I think that's one of my biggest concerns with Diablo 4, really, is that the game has a surprising amount of simplicity to it. And I do understand the silliness in saying that to an extent, because the beta only goes up to level 25. However, I've played Diablo 3 before, many times, thousands of hours, and I don't really see a lot of complexity in that game either. I don't really see a whole lot of new systems happening in Diablo 4 that's going to be transformative to that in a way that's different for players. I think that you're obviously going to have people that are, they're going to play it and theory craft it, etc. But how deep does that theory crafting go? And I think there's a very interesting middle ground that I'm not sure if Diablo 4 is going to be able to really capitalize on, which is the middle ground that it is complex enough for it to be fulfilling for people to overcome the complexities, but simultaneously not as complex as PoE, to the point to where it is just completely impenetrable for a new person. Any new person coming into Path of Exile, I tell them, follow your build guide down to a T, deviate a couple of times, realize the error of your ways, then go back to the build guide, because it's just so complex. And
it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but no, I'm not saying it should be. Anyway, hey, all I'm saying is, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, you just pick a skill and then make a build, dude. You log in. That's it. Do you know how many times I just start up? I don't even POB. I just log in instantly and just start playing. And it works out. Now, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But that's the fun of it. Then you just go again. You go again. You go again. It's pretty simple. But no, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is, if PoE is like this, right? PoE is like this. This is like the complexity bar. This is how complex it is. This is how complex it is. Okay? And then D3 is like this. Right? And you got D3 is like this. I feel like D4 is like this, bro. Like this. It's like this. It could, you know, they could make it like this. They could, you know, maybe even a little bit like that. You know, they could go like this. It doesn't need to be, you know, you don't need to reduce it that much. People like console players aren't brain dead. They're not brain dead.
It's so hard to understand. So Diablo 4, I think that really
They're
has
not.
to hit that sweet spot in between boring levels of just
Do
repetitive.
you know where all PoE's ultra complicated giga fucking question mark skill gem support gem systems came from? Came from a fucking console game. Some weeb Final Fantasy dog shit. They just stole it from some Final Fantasy shit. From a fucking console game. Bro, they stole that shit from a console game. Okay? Console gamers aren't retarded, bro.
Repetitive gameplay that's mindless and effortless with no real investment put into it, and then also not simultaneously be too complex to where people don't understand it, like PoE. And I do think that complexity is not necessarily always a good thing. There's a lot
100%.
of people online that, you know, well, the more complex game and the harder game is always the better game.
More complex
Not
doesn't equal better.
necessarily. And I want to draw a correlation, and it's an ironic correlation, but I think it's very true, between two old games, Diablo 2 and Gauntlet. How many of you guys played Gauntlet Legends? You played Gauntlet over on the old arcade machine. You know, Red Wizard shot the food. That was me, by the way. And, you know, you just kind of did all that kind of stuff. You love Gauntlet. You played maybe Gauntlet. You played, you know, Diablo 2. I didn't play Diablo 2. And Gauntlet was a great game. In my mind, I think that Diablo 4 should be Gauntlet, and Path of Exile can be D2. There's nothing wrong with being a simpler, easier to understand, more accessible version of a type of game. And I really hope that's what Diablo 4 can do.
Yeah, but if they simplify it to the point where it's like WoW or some shit, where they make your archetype for you and they make your build for you, and you don't get that fucking hard on that lets you feel like you're making a build, right? I think that's a fail, right? As an ARPG. And I'm not getting that vibe. I feel like, oh, I'm just doing what Dev intended me to do. I got the whirlwind legendary. I put the whirlwind on the bar. I click, you know, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they need some more. We need many options, so then lots of OP shit to choose from that we can make builds from. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's where Diablo 4 is missing right now, bro. It's missing.
And I would say, like, if I had to rate the game, I think people always want me to, rate the game. Oh, is it a 5? Is it a 7? Is it a 10? I would rate Diablo 4, the beta experience, I would rate it probably like an 8.5. I don't really feel comfortable saying 9. I don't feel comfortable saying 8 either, so I'm feeling somewhere around 8.5. I don't think it's incredible. It's not changing my life. It's not innovative to the point where...
What the fuck? If that's 8.5, what is Elden Ring? What is Terraria? Like, how do you go up from there, bro? 10? Elden Ring's not a 10. Elden Ring's not a 10. Elden Ring's like a 9.5. Elden Ring's like a 9.5. Terraria's like a 9.5. PoE's like a 9.5. I don't have any 10s in my system. There's no 10s. No 10s. PoE's like a 9.6, actually. I don't know. It's like a 9.6. Valheim's like a solid 9. Valheim's like a solid 9 or a 8.5. Okay, Dark Standard's like an 8.5. Slay the Spire's like a 7.9. You know? World of Warcraft's like a 7.5. I have to think about it more. But none's 10, bro. I not played the 10 yet. 10 is the ultimate game. The god game.
It completely...
Bolson's a 6.
Reorient...
No, it's like... Bolson's a 5.7. It went up, dude. It went up. It's a 6 now. After I played these other ARPGs, Wilson went up.
Hence my thinking on the ARPG genre. However...
At least with Wilson, I kind of felt like I was making a build. You know? I felt like I was making a build with Wilson. You know? That's what. Well, that's what Wilson at least felt like I was making a build. Hey,
It's very good at doing what it does. And I think that that's what I want to talk about next, is that the actual gameplay,
80's a
the
solid 9.
combat, the questing, etc. I think the idea of having the less, like, I mean, Blizzard is known all the time for their cinematics,
Last Epoch's like an
especially
8.
back in the day, whenever they were just head and shoulders above everybody else. A lot of other brands have caught up nowadays, but back in the day, Blizzard cinematics were the fucking gold standard. Anyway, so a lot of the Diablo 4 cinematics are not that amazing. Like, they're not that great. But what they are is that they do show your character in the cutscene in a way that is actually pretty fucking good. And I like that. It sounds stupid, but I think I do. And that higher quality of cutscene, I hope they have a couple of them, of course. But it's not necessary for every single end of the act or anything
100%.
like that. And I've actually really enjoyed just
The 3D cutscenes with good voice acting and good like animation and everything, they are immersive as fuck and they're fine. Straight up, I don't even think I prefer like if you could choose like one big dick one or like 5 of those custom really well done ones. I'll be 5 custom really well done. Bro, they don't need to spam those like giga like they fucking pay a team like fucking $2 million to spend like 5 weeks making some fucking 3-minute video. I prefer like fucking five custom like good ones with good voice acting and good shit.
going through the game and seeing more
Explain. What's this? Shut the fuck up, bitch. My build, bitch.
cutscenes, even though they're a little bit lower quality. And I think the overall story of the game, this is again Act 1 story. I really liked the story until you got into like the main town and you started doing stuff. I like the idea of being that lone, grungy adventurer that smells like fucking like horse shit, well, literally in this case, and you're in
Is that like a relatability thing? No, meme. I'm memeing. That's a joke.
in this village, and then they try to kill you and sacrifice you to a demon, and then you kill them. And I felt like it scaled up quite quickly in terms of the, the complexities of the game and the scale of the game in terms of the narrative. And I did not really prefer that as much. If I had to say, I'd say that I like the story in Act 1 Diablo 3 more than I like the story in Act 1 Diablo 4. But I think that both of them are fine. They're passable. They still fit that, that notch of like, it's kind of like this, it's like Pulp Fiction type stuff where it's not this super complex, very, like hard to understand characters. No, not really. It's just these are the bad guys, these are the good guys, and they're demons, and there's like a few plot twists, but that's about it. I think that's what Diablo is supposed to be. It's not full of nuances like Game of Thrones or something, and I think that's a good thing. Anyway, so the combat. Story is good. Voice acting, incredible. Great job with voice acting. All of the...
I need to go through and do the D3 story. I need to go through and do the D3 story at some point. That's something things to do. Things to do. D3 story. Play through. I need to do that. That's something I need to do. I don't remember it at all. I think it'd be fun to do a D3 story playthrough. See, I don't want to watch it on YouTube, bitch. Why would I watch it on YouTube? I'm going to experience it myself.
Kind of like, if you were to think of, think about like, old Game Informer or like Nintendo Power Reviews where it says like graphics, voice acting, story, like all of those numbers, I think for Diablo would be a 10, pretty much, at least a 9. Diablo 4. Absolutely, I think they're very well put together. So combat, let's talk a little bit about combat. I think combat is good. Combat is always something that Diablo 3 was great at, and I think that it was pretty decent in Diablo Immortal whenever you weren't lagging through things. So I expected combat to be good, and I was proven right. I'm very happy about the combat. I think it's fun, and it's pretty enjoyable overall. The itemization and actually, before we talk about itemization, let's talk about bosses. I'm going to be real. So I played a barbarian, the first character, and I understand people tell me, oh, well, if you play another version of barbarian, it's going to be super fun. Like, you're just playing a bad build. Yeah, maybe, but like, bro, I'm going to just,
They're so low IQ, those guys. They're literally the most fucking dumb NA fucking take Andes who are saying that shit straight up. Well, look at this one, barbarian. Look, he's got full level 35 gear that he exploited with all the fucking perfect synergized fucking legendaries to do a one shot. Look at this super niche specific video of this one mob doing this thing, dude. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I keep it real. Like, it's not fun chasing mobs that are programmed to run away from you the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just not. Like,
The floaty succubus ones. The floaty succubus ones. Fuck those ones.
am I a bad barbarian? Am I a fake barbarian? Maybe I am. I played an Archon Wizard in Diablo 3, so, and after I played Sorcerer, I'm probably going to play a Sorcerer whenever the game comes out. And, you know, maybe that's just, that's a me situation, but I really didn't like how annoying a lot of the fights were as melee, and I felt like, you know, you're fighting a mob and he's standing inside of a pool that you're supposed to move out of. It's just annoying and
Welcome to the
obnoxious to play against.
Bro, he plays Warrior in World of Warcraft. Like, he's progged the Mythic Raids in World of Warcraft. Like, the melee have to do literally 3 times as many mechanics. Straight up. You gotta take the boss half the time. There's a bunch of frontal cone! Oh, the boss has a frontal cone! Oh, the boss has got a tail! Guess what? Oh, he just got you with his tail! Oh, guess what? There's a special dragon that does a side sweep! Like, fuck off.
I mean, again, that could just be a me problem.
Range literally do 1/3 the mechanics melee do. Facts.
But as a melee player who then played ranged after that, I certainly enjoyed ranged a lot more. And at the end of the day, right or wrong, I had more fun as ranged. So anyway, combat I think was great. Bosses were really kind of hit or miss.
Back in my day, Asmongold was a mythic raider, okay? With fucking indestructible, he was mythic raiding, bro. I remember him wiping to that fucking one boss in Night Old. Having a mental breakdown. The seed guy. The seed guy where you gotta split them up. Fuck.
I think that, again, this is Act 1. So, like, I'm not expecting some, you know, like, massive, insane level of complexity with bosses. Like, I'm not expecting, you know, Vault in Gate 2. I'm not expecting uber elder. So guess what? The bosses are pretty simple. They're relatively well put together, and I think that they were fine. Going and doing the side quests and the open world nature of the game. Sorry about the plane. The open world nature of the game, I actually think flowed really well. And
I'll be honest, the Act 1 boss was mid, lackluster.
I enjoyed it a lot. The only
why don't you put that on there?
concern that I have with the open world nature of the game is that there's a lot of like collection type stuff. For example, like you have to get a bunch of different like waypoints. Think about like the Lost Ark Adventurer's Journal if you played that game, and there's like a list of like little chores that you have to do around the world. Click all the statues, open up all the portals, do all the side quests. I will love to do that one time. But if I have to do that every fucking season, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you that at a certain point, it will be one of the biggest reasons why I don't play a new Diablo 4 season. I don't find it to be fun to repeat the same clicking on the same statues, or even if they randomize their locations, I still don't find it fun.
I think I'm more cancer.
It's something you do whenever the game's new and you just want to explore the game, but after you've done that a couple of times, you've kind of, you know, that has worn off its excitement. So I do hope that they change that.
Imagine if World of Warcraft seasons, bro, and every fucking 3 months they just delete your character and all your progress and all your achievements. And then just...
and they don't make you repeat activities like that so much.
Shit, that'd be
and
crazy.
Now that we're talking about seasons, I guess we'll talk a little bit more about itemization
and
how complex those items are going to be.
You gotta farm your rep up every time, bro. You gotta do more dailies every time. You gotta refumble your more dailies. You gotta start doing Torghast again.
So it seems like with Diablo 4, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be doing a combination of having rares that are, you know, like 5 affix rares, and then you can put legendary powers onto them. It seems like that will probably be the meta, unless the legendary power is like extremely powerful in terms of like a binary functionality. Then you would probably want to have the solid legendary, because transferring the powers, I think, makes them weaker in some cases. But anyway, the itemization, I think, is okay, but I don't really find it to be particularly interesting.
Yep.
And maybe this is just me, but
facts, they're boring.
A lot of the different bonuses that I got I never really got this bonus and was like, wow, this is fucking amazing. I'm doing so much more damage.
And it needs to feel like, damn, this is fucking GG for my build. It doesn't feel like that. It don't feel like that.
I just was like, okay, cool. Now I have this and my abilities do more damage. And I think, again, this is very much probably an issue of the beta. But I do remember back in Diablo 3, and I think a lot of you guys who have played Path of Exile...
They just need to scrap 80% of the affixes. I tell you the good affixes. Okay, look. Scrap 80% plus of dog shit affixes. Make affixes that compelling / build making, i.e. stuff that's dog for some builds. Okay, yeah. All right,
Exile, or even...
No, it's like, okay, example is literally just like, okay, you're playing a fire build, right? And you get an item that has fire damage on it. Guess what, dude? You're playing, okay, oh, this is a really nice, okay, it's got fire damage and it's got +1 to a fire ability, right? And then it's got some health with a resist, right? Okay, now you're like, oh shit, that's a good item if I was playing a fire build. Oh, I'm not playing a fire build, so this item is shit for me. But if you were playing a fire build, guess what, dude? You're like, holy shit, this is a good item for my build. And you're like, badass, equip. Not this fucking, every item is like, oh, fucking 15% more damage to healthy enemies with fucking 15% more damage to enemies that are far away. And all these, where you're just literally like, what am I even looking at, bro? What am I reading? No.
Wow. Remember how good it feels to get like that fucking Omega Bis item, or like to get something that's just build defining. You go from, like being able to just be able to do it to being able to do it without even looking at the screen, or being able to not even have a chance to being able to do it easily. And I remember in Diablo 3, like I would get like a ring or a pair of gloves. I think gloves were like one of the best ones that would have like, my main damage stat, critical strike damage, critical strike chance, and attack speed all on my fucking gloves. And it's like, oh my god, I am a god now.
But wait, you said the itemization was better in D4. Wait, he said the itemization was better in D4 than was D3, right? Am I crazy? That's what he said before at the start of the video. Now he's saying, because this is why I'm saying, like, I'm saying the opposite. And saying, at the beginning, I'm saying the opposite. I literally feel like items that drop in D3 are more compelling to me than D4 items. Minus set items, obviously. Subtract set items. Was that Asmongold? I don't know. I've watched too many. Did Raka say that? Maybe I'm cooked.
And I could feel my character play better. And I hope that Diablo 4 gives you that ability to do it, because I think that's one of the best things about ARPGs, is to feel your character getting more powerful and to feel those cool things that you're able to get. And I just really hope Diablo 4 is able to capture that in the context of it being a much more simplistic game. And you're getting so many uniques as like a level 25. I don't know if this is increased for the beta or not. I worry that you're going to be playing the game, and within the first 10% of
everything.
Like the first day or two of playing
the game, beta versions the same
you
thing.
You will have obtained like 80 to 90% of the functionality of your build.
Yep.
And then after that, you're just searching for upgrades for that build. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I could see that being kind of, it's like a one and done type situation. You play the game for a few days each season and then that's it. But I can't really see myself coming back and playing
bad game design, bro.
If the itemization isn't a little bit more complex and I don't have a little bit more agency over control.
It's like the same shit where you like, it's the same thing in Diablo 3. So where you log in, you get your set bonus, you get the multipliers for your set bonus, and then you get all your shit that you've got a cube, and then your build's done. And now all you're looking for is slightly better roll versions of the same thing. And it's like, when you get to that point, you're like, holy fuck. So, and even that, you know what? That's actually a little bit of fun. Now, once you get all those next pieces full ancient, at that point, you're like, okay, all I've got to do now is just get +5 main stat. And then that's when the pain champ, it just feels like, what the fuck am I doing? I fucking hamster on a fucking wheel?
Rolling it. You're able to do a few.
Now, in PoE, you do get to that point as well, except it takes far longer, for example. Or even in last epoch, it was taking longer because, you know, to be fair, I didn't even know half the units that existed. Or you just insert, like, fucking Grim Dawn or whatever one you want to. I don't want to always hits. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, like, in PoE, you get to that point and, like, you're like, normally level 95 or 96, I'm feeling like, okay, I've got everything I want, unless it's like a unique that I literally cannot loot. You know, level 95, level 96, which is like a weekend if you're just gaming normally, not like gig gaming.
Few things with the items, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, especially in Season 5 of Diablo 4 or Season 11 of Diablo 4. I don't really see myself coming back and enjoying that same type of itemization and build control. I just feel like it would be it's very much on rails. I like playing games where I can effectively play a character and make it so OP that it feels like I'm doing something that I shouldn't be able to. And I don't know if Diablo 4 is going to give you enough tools to be able to do that. So that's in general the way that I feel about the itemization. It's not amazing, it's not awful, but it is what it is, I guess. So next thing is going to be, like, again, I'll talk a little bit more about the open world content and the MMO nature of the game. I heard from a number of people that Diablo 4 really felt like much...
Wait, what do you mean to stop talking like XQC? I'm not talking like XQC. What are you guys going on about?
Much more of an MMO than an ARPG. And I think that, I mean, as somebody who's an MMO player, I think this is great. I'm very happy about this.
I'm on the treadmill, bro. I'm pumped.
I played Diablo 4. I interacted with other players. It was seamless. They were never annoying. They never made my experience worse. And overall, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And I like the idea of going into town and seeing other players. And, you know, I hate to say it, but Diablo Immortal did this too. And the truth is that it was really fun in Diablo Immortal too. So I'm really glad to see them add that same functionality into Diablo 4 and make the game feel a little bit more open and allow you to interact with other people. You can, I think, inspect them, look at their gear, which is, I think, super important in an ARPG. And I think overall...
Yeah, hey, GGG, what the fuck are you doing? Why can't we inspect in the current year? Straight up. I fucking hate that I can't inspect my boy. I hate that I cannot inspect. People need to go, fuck that. I want to be able to be like, oh, instability is messaging me an item. Let me actually just right-click and inspect this character. Boom. Oh shit, I'm buying an item of a guy. He looks, he's doing some crazy shit. Let's see what kind of gear he's got.
Open world aspects of the game, the world boss and everything, I think it's really cool, and I like it a lot. I can see how some people that were purists of the game wouldn't have the same opinion, but for me, I think it's fucking great. So anyway, that's some of the main feelings that I have about Diablo 4. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'd really want to go through. Obviously, you know, like a lot of intangibles, things like graphics, things like the menus, etc. I think all that stuff is fine. There's nothing really bad about it. It's good. It's definitely passable. There are a lot of people that have been negative about Diablo 4 because, you know, it doesn't make them feel the same way that Diablo 3 or Diablo 2 did. I think that in a lot of cases, that's probably a product of its time, and I'm not necessarily sure that you can have any game that'll make you feel that way again. But if you do find one, please let me know too, because...
Bruh. I mean, maybe I'm an autist PC gamer, but when you're playing on an interface that clearly makes no sense for a computer, and while you're playing on a computer, that is immersion breaking. Like, I don't know, when you're like opening up a radial wheel that's designed for a fucking thumbstick to like pick your fucking item, to do your fucking emo, to do whatever, instead of just typing /cheer, /dance, it like, okay, dude, it feels clunky and janky. Okay, that's not like that's not some product of like, oh, I'm just used to this shit and I don't like change some boomer shit. Well, okay, it's the PC to console disconnect because I'm a PC gamer. I play PC games, and now they're putting my PC game and they're turning it to console game, and then they're porting it to PC, which is what triggers me. Okay, that's what's getting that's what's triggering us. Okay, just so you know, y'all are aware.
I'd love to have that feeling again. Diablo 4 didn't really do that for me either, which is why it's not some sort of like a 10. Again, this is not Elden Ring, okay?
As PC gamers, yeah. If you're some console bozo, console enjoyer, hey, that's cool. I like Elden Ring too. I like Dark Souls. Those are some pretty good console games. You know, Bloodborne should be on PC though, and it's dog shit on a like. Do you know why Bloodborne's dog shit, chat? because on a console, shit can't even run at 30 FPS. Fucking pathetic. Okay, consoles are kind of ruining gaming. I'm just saying.
It's not.
Especially console exclusives. Fuck console exclusives. That shit should be illegal.
Not the
that's anti-competitive trash
in ARPGs since Path of Exile, but it's a good, solid game. It seems fun, and it seems like Diablo isn't really trying to compete as much with Path of Exile. They're trying to broaden the scope of what the ARPG genre is and appeal to a more casual gamer and a person that wants to be able to go into the game, understand it, and play it without using a bunch of different spreadsheets and looking things up online, at least too much, until they get to the Paragon board, that is. So overall, my feelings on the game are overwhelmingly positive. I'm very happy about it. I think that I'm reserving judgment for a lot of different things like endgame systems, etc. But my main concern with the endgame is actually very similar to my concern with the itemization, which is why would I want to play Diablo 4 Season 6 just to go and run the same dungeons again and again and again? Because Path of Exile has such a great,
new content, right?
Like a great tiering of their progression content. You know, you've got maps, you've got like, I don't know, you've got the boss maps, you've got other bosses, you've got Shaper, Elder, Uber Elder, Sirius, the Conquerors, the Elder Guardians.
What's the fact that you can make a new build, right? You can pretty much have a different experience, even if they don't even release new content necessarily. There's so many various builds. You can do the same thing in Diablo 4. But how many times could you do that? The thing is that whenever we talk to them about what they're going to do for seasons, I interviewed the Diablo dev, and he done said they're going to be adding in significant content in these patches to the point where they could literally be adding in fucking lore and like voice acting, also like entire new characters. Something like that, right? That's what he said, right? Instability? Wait, he said that, right? Wait, just so I make sure I'm not misquoting. I'm paraphrasing, but they said, yeah, they could add in some shit that is straight up actual proper content. Not just like, oh, you spawn a tornado when you kill a mob, 10% chance. Or, oh, double goblins. It was like, no, they could add in some significant shit. That's what, yeah.
The Shaper Guardians, like, and there's the Exarch and the Eater of Worlds, and there's all these different like benchmarks, Cortex. There's all these benchmarks that the player
static
can put
content
up against and then try to overcome this challenge.
Yeah.
And I'm very concerned that Diablo 4 won't have that, and the endgame won't feel as fulfilling as the Path of Exile endgame does. That's my biggest actual concern with the game, is that the Diablo 3 endgame, I played a few seasons in Diablo 3, even in Reaper of Souls. It's fucking boring. All you do is run rifts. That's it. It's like, imagine in PoE, if the only thing that you could do
bro,
is
what
run
the fuck?
tier...
Hey, it's not that bad, bro. Come on. Hey, it's not that bad, bro. Come on. Hey.
Well, you could just run infinitely tiered maps. So, like, instead of running a tier 15...
They made it progressively worse. At the beginning, it was better because there was no metas defined. There was no Paragon farming. It was like, who can figure out the best combination of builds and skills to figure out who can fucking push the highest, you know, who can fish the best rift, who can try hard the fuck out of it. You know, it was cool. Okay, it was cool. It's not just farming. No wrong. Yeah, for the most part, farming rifts, right, to get your gear and get your builds. Yeah, for sure. But goddamn, no. But then it turned into it later on, like season, like pretty much season, like what, like kind of just went downhill from season 3. And progressively got more and more dog shit.
Or tier 16 map, you're running like a tier 27 map, and if you get hit once, you're dead, but you can kill everything in like 2 hits because you're built completely for damage. That's basically the way that Diablo 3 rifts work. I mean, not exactly, but you can see kind of what I mean. Think about, there's no other activities. There's nothing else to do. All you do...
Well, farming Hellfire amulets, bounties, T10 farming, key farming, and these used to be trials back in the day. Which were that shit was like, you want to blow your fucking brains out.
Is you just run rifts, and that's it. I find that to be so boring.
All-butted?
That's my biggest concern with Diablo 4, is that the end game will just simply be boring. It will be repetitive, not fun, not innovative. There won't be benchmark bosses. There won't be capstone challenges. And
aspirational content, static content. What are you talking about?
Because I really want to enjoy the game. I've had a lot of fun playing the beta.
In fact, I should probably add that. I've already got static content in there. Let's actually add an aspirational content. It should be included with static content, but you know.
I'm probably going to go play it right now.
But
the truth is that level 25 beta doesn't really give you a lot of insight into the end game. And with a game like Diablo, you're going to be through this type of content in like 2 or 3 days. So unless you only expect people to play the game 2 or 3 days, what do you do after that? Well, that's what really matters. So we'll just have to wait and see what that actually looks like. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I wanted to go out and talk about this, but yeah, thanks for watching. I'd be curious to hear your comments and thoughts about Diablo 4. I'm kind of curious myself, actually.
Does he have a bullet pointed list of what he's going to talk about in front of him? I don't understand. How does he remember to go through everything and then not fuck up and have to like, bro, he's so good. He's so good at just freely talking about things at length and then not missing out. Because what I would do is I would start and I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot to say this thing. I have to go back. Oh, I forgot to fucking, and I repeatedly have to go back and I have to cut it a million times. It's super annoying. Did you know how it is to talk at length about a subject for 20 minutes straight and not miss some shit? It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy.
Because, I've read very, very extreme.
He must have a couple bullet points, though, right? He must have like keywords that, oh, yeah, I'm going to talk about this Endgame. Look, wait, he must have bullet points, right? He's got to have bullet points. No shot he hasn't got bullet points. Zero shot. He's not going to teleprompter, but he'll have bullet points.
Opinions of both things, and I'm not really sure exactly where people's sentiment lies, but that's mine. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you later. Peace.
Good video, guys. Good video. I liked it, right? Good video. Okay. Well, it's like, I just wish I could learn that. To be fair, I had to practice it. Diablo 4 feels terrible so far. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, we've got the crypt video coming.
Because he is God.